Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be doing a overall review of the 3 different pumps that we've reviewed before. And if you haven't watched those videos, go watch them. They are awesome. So in this one we're going to be talking about the drill powered water pump, the Drummond 12 volt water pump, and the battery powered water pump. And overall, there's some pros and cons to all of them. On the drill water pump, big pro, it is cheap. I mean, super cheap. You should have probably bought this one between the time that you watched the previous review and this video. That's how inexpensive they are. Ultimately, big pro, like I said, it's cheap. It's lightweight, it's portable, and all you need is a drill and you'll be good to go. The big con to that, though, is that you need a drill. In a power outage situation, if your batteries aren't charged or if you don't even have a battery powered drill, then this thing is going to be useless to you. One other con to this is the gallons per hour is pretty low, and also using a drill is pretty loud. Actually, out of all 3 of these, this was the loudest one because my drill is loud. But overall, for the price, very useful, and definitely something if you need a water pump for small projects like pumping gas out of a can or something like that. This one works really well. The other nice thing about it, it is threaded for standard hose fittings, so you don't have to go out and buy anything different. Your standard garden hose will fit this. The next one is the 12 volt Drummond liquid transfer pump. Now this thing obviously is the biggest motor out of all of them. It's also the most expensive out of all of them. It also is the most awesome out of all of them. The one thing I love about this thing is that it is a 12 volt setup. So any car battery, you could pull 12 volt off of your solar array if you have access to one of those. So basically any car battery will work for these, or any kind of portable jumper pack too, obviously. And this thing has tons of gallons per hour. It's 290 gallons per hour in a very small package. Ironically, it's the quietest of all of them. And the other nice thing is it has a 40-foot lift height. So if you did need to pump water out of a stream or something and come up a hill, this one can actually do it for you, where this one and this one both will not be able to get out of it. So big pro on the Drummond is it's 12 volt. It's threaded for standard hose, so it won't be hard to find a pipe that fits it. And it has really high gallons per hour. The real con to this is, again, it is 12 volts, so you do need to find a battery for it, and if you're in the middle of the woods or something like that, that might be a little bit difficult. And if you're hiking it around with you, which I don't know that you're really going to be, but it does weigh 5 or 6 pounds, so that's just an added weight into your backpack if you're backpacking around with one of these things. But really, that was me stretching for a con. There's really no cons to this thing. I love this little thing, and I bet you're not going to guess which one I pick as the best one for getting fuel out of a gas tank, but we'll get into that in a little bit. And then there's the battery-powered liquid transfer pump. Now, I love this thing. I use it all the time. It is great in the shop to refill your lawnmower or your generator or something like that, so you're not sitting there trying to pour a 5-gallon jug into your lawnmower. This thing works perfect, and it moves water or liquid pretty quickly. The big problem with this, though, in our series is you cannot use this thing to get fuel out of a vehicle. The inlet is just too thick, and it's stiff plastic, so you couldn't maneuver it down the neck. So we didn't experiment with trying to figure out some sort of pipe situation that you could put on this, but I'd like to know y'all's feedback if any of you have, because I would like this thing to be able to siphon fuel out of a gas tank. But it is pretty nice. It runs off 2D batteries, which is a pro and a con. The pro of it is it's portable. Con of it is if your batteries die, there's nothing you can do, and it's not like people carry around 20 extra D batteries. But I will say, the lifespan on these batteries is, I think, 5 hours of continuous use. It might be a little longer than that. It might have been 8 hours. If you watch my review video, I know I told you in that, so go watch it. But yeah, so ultimately this thing is awesome. to have around the shop for, like I said, refilling gas tanks. But for removing fuel out of a car, it is a solid no so far. So ultimately, which one would I choose for removing fuel out of a vehicle during a power outage situation? It would definitely be the Drummond. But I also think all three of these have their merits. So this is specifically for power outage situations. Around the house situations, this is perfect for clearing out your fish tank or needing to pump a small amount of fuel out of a gas can or something like that. Plus, it's super inexpensive. There's really no point in not having this just floating around for emergency situations. This, the liquid transfer pump, is awesome for daily shop use. And this one is awesome for the bigger jobs. The only reason I picked this one out of all three of them is because it is direct 12 volt, and so your car battery will be right there and you can just hook right up to it. So overall, that's my thoughts behind it, and hope you found this video useful.